What's up, YouTube? This is Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and got a doing something a little bit different here. I figured for my Easter Day Dash, I thought I would do one of my old style daily recaps where I cover all the orders that I did, and there was a ton of declines. I think I got over 90 screenshots here that I'm going to blast through. And just in case you might be new to the channel and wondering, why is a video about Easter coming out, this much later after the fact. And that's because I just dash part-time, and not all of my dashes I make a video for, or I might have some dashes. Like yesterday, I made 3 separate videos, and I schedule everything ahead of time. That way I can make sure I have regular content to this channel every week. So that's why the delay in between when I record and when I post. And like last weekend, I didn't make any videos, but I still had content being posted that was previously recorded. Okay, now to today's dash. I mentioned couple videos ago about this pro shopper thing. So here's my stats at the start of the dash this morning. You see I had 5 of 6. I finished the dash dropping down to 4 out of 6 by the time today's dash was over. And the top one fell to like 91%, and then that total items found actually dropped even further to 97. Um, and then, so first order that I took this morning at 6:50, $23, 17 miles, 34 items. I wasn't too concerned about the item count. Let's see if I can do this in an hour. Might be kind of tough, but get to this store, and one thing that's troubling right off the bat, you see right here on customer A, if you can see my pointer, and right here on B, each customer has meat that I gotta get from the deli, the meat counter. That's just great. Um, and the worker that was doing that was like, this was like the slowest all-time deli associate. I don't know if this person was new or, but I actually walked away from that counter. She wasn't helping anybody else. I was the only one there. And I walked away from that counter like 3 different times to get some of these other items, like you see there, the potatoes, the dinner rolls was unavailable. Uh, there's some other kind of bread. I kept like walking away, grabbing an item, coming back, and it took her a while. I finally got it. Actually, when I first got to the deli counter, was trying to show this associate what I, needed. DoorDash was bombarding me with these 2 other add-ons, $5.75 for 7 items. Not doing it. Not for, what is this? An additional 8.5 miles? Absolutely not. So decline, and immediately get another one, 350, an additional 3.6 miles. That's just not worth my time. I know I'm already in the store, but not for an additional 3.5 miles. And I told the deli associate, I was like, well, if DoorDash will stop sending me these offers, I can show you what I need here. The one customer didn't respond. It wasn't just, so they wanted Dutch apple pie, and the store just had like the lattice apple pie. And there was one other item that was out. I can't remember what that was. You see here a 17-minute gap because I went and, I sent the shelf pictures and then went and shopped other items. Still no reply. tried a phone call that went straight to voicemail, and then there's my copy and paste message, no answer to text or phone call. I'm now checking out with the missing items, yada yada. And see, that's the thing. Like, I highly doubt unless they change the criteria, I'm probably not going to become a pro shopper because Meyer is just there are too many items that I run into that's out of stock, too many substitutions. They just don't keep their store well stocked at all. Um, and so, and then when you combine that with unresponsive customers, I mean, it makes it like for me in my zone near impossible to meet those stats. It's probably not going to happen. So I finished shopping at 7:35. So that's about 36 minutes to find the 31 items. And then, there was some problems there, like I said. Um, the top of the screen, that Red Bull, the customer ordered 4 cans. They only had 3 cans. So, that counts against me in these stats. That yarn that I got, I could have sworn the yarn was orange. It looked orange to me, and I scanned another one that said like a light yellow, for instance. It said no, that's the wrong item. So I scanned one that to me looked orange, and that's the one that scanned. Okay, whatever. And then I get this. So this must have been on my way to the first delivery, I think. Um, or maybe I already dropped off the first order. I don't know. But this add-on, adding no additional mileage, $4 Walgreen pickup. So why not? If it's not going to add any, this probably just add about like 5 minutes to my total trip, and for $4, that's not bad. So I went ahead and took it, and then get to one of the drop offs, and says to leave it at the garage door attached to the garage. So hopefully that was the right door. This was actually kind of like around in the back of the garage and like back of the house. So hopefully that right there is the right place. But 7:52 for that delivery. Get to the Walgreens at 8:03 to pick that up, and it was just a pickup, so I didn't have to shop anything. And then it had me deliver that next, so 8 minutes, and of course I'm drop that off. I had to go in that direction anyway to my other delivery. And that the Walgreens pay was 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Be right back at you for the $4. And then dropped off the final order 10 minutes later at 8:21. So I didn't get everything done in like an hour. So that was $18, a $2 tip and a $3 tip for 23, plus the $4 Walgreens. So those three orders, $27. Started at 6:50 and finished at 8:21. So that's like an hour and a half for the $23. So that was not good. But what wasn't terrible, but just wasn't good. Let's close these out. What was next? 8:23. 4 item, 9:25, 5.5 miles. I think I declined that. I'm actually like closer to I'm closer to the customer. I gotta drive to Giant Eagle and come back and shop 4 items. Decline. This one was a decline to upside down Burger King order 575, 6.2 miles. 3 minutes later, the orders were, I didn't have to wait long for offers. Like all day today, the offers were coming. $11, 13-mile Turkey Hill. It going clear down to Commercial Point. Not doing that because especially on a busy day like today, I have the deadhead miles coming back to zone. Not doing that one. Okay, 1 minute later, here we go. 1025 Dollar General, only one item, 3.5 miles. Absolutely. Sets at 828. Here's my updated pro shopper thing for whatever that's worth. I don't know why I took that screenshot. Get to the Dollar General, liquid plumber. So found it pretty easily. Go to drop that off at 8:41. So start to finish, what is that? 13 minutes. That's all that took me to make 1025. That is an outstanding order right there. 325 and a $7 tip. Immediately after dropping that off, $9 14-mile Tim Hortons going out east. No. No, thank you. 1 minute later, $7, 7-mile Dollar General, 4 items. Where's that even going? I can't tell. I can't tell where that's exactly delivering. Decline. Not even a minute later. I was actually like, I think I was like starting to head home, and that Dollar General, I was like, no, I'm gonna decline this and still, head home. But then I get this one, 1525, 11 and a half miles, and the drop off, the customer is in zone. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. This pretty good order here, and uh, no problems with the pickup. Drop that off at 9:10. So what is this? 28 minutes for 1525. That's better than a $30 an hour rate right there on that one. That was good. 425, $11 tip. Raunchy as raunchy can be. $11, 8 miles, but it is going to just one customer, but I got to shop 8 things at Dollar General and pick up McDonald's. And I was just curious. I clicked on what the Dollar General was, and check it out, folks. Nothing but Easter. Absolutely not. I mean, this is horrible right here. It's Easter Sunday. So the any store you go to is probably going to have like a just kind of like the leftovers or whatever. Most everything's going to be already bought. I know like yesterday, Meyer, I might have talked about it in a previous video, but for the whole store, there was just one small little display of Easter candy left. So yeah, out of these 8 things, I might have been lucky if the store had 2 of them. I mean, so automatic decline. I think this was a decline. 675, 6.6 miles CVS. I just curious. I looked at the items. Honey and some kind of tea bags. Just not worth it. Decline. Um, this was a decline. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. I clicked on the items. I think I mainly declined it because of what the items were. It's going south. This really isn't a good order here. But when I seen the items, I was like, I was probably on the fence. And then when I seen these items, I was like, okay, no, absolutely not. A cookie sheet and a saucepan, not doing it. That could be really tricky, to find the exact right one and the right sizes of those things. So decline. Uh, Probably, yeah, I declined that one. 2075, but it's going to downtown. Upside down, 525, 6.5 mile Wendy's decline at 916. 1 minute later, okay, let's take this. 550 Burger King, only 3 miles. Knocked it out in 14 minutes. That's these $5 orders. That's you want to try to do it, and I try to have them all done in 15 minutes or less. The main thing that could get you is if you had to wait at the restaurant. But I don't think I might have waited just a couple, 2 or 3 minutes on this. I think if I remember right, but still got it done in 14 minutes. Perfect. I'll take it. It is kind of risky taking those orders, but I can usually get them done in less than 15 minutes. I think I declined this. 1325, 7.5 miles. No, I took this one. Um, Going to the South High area, it looks like. So I took this. Um, this was very tricky. I was looking up and down that aisle for 3 or 4 minutes before I found these cat treats. This and then the cat food was kind of hard to find. The splash, they didn't have the which one was it they didn't have? This mandarin orange they didn't have. Um, so it's like, I had bad luck on it. It seemed like, all of these, or except like the 1 or 2 item orders that I had, but all these other ones, there was at least something that wasn't in stock. Okay. Uh, it took me 8 minutes to finish the shop. So 9:37 to 9:45. Um, I took this screenshot because the instructions, it's leave at the door, call or message me, and I'll come down and get them. So I'm figuring, well, this is probably some kind of like upstairs unit, and so I get there, and like I find the house number, but then there's like there's an A and a B unit where it wasn't in the address for the customers which unit they were. And so I saw the stairs and the door, but I didn't know, like, is that A or B? Or so I sent a message that I was there and took my picture like at the bottom of the steps. And before I even finished closing out the order, he comes down the stairs and grabs everything and takes it up. So it worked out. So that was finished at 10:04. So what is that? 33 minutes for 13:25. So that was okay. That wasn't bad. What's next? Raunchy, 1650, Giant Eagle, 13 miles, got to shop 2 orders, decline. 1 minute later, 825, 8 mile Giant Eagle, 1 item. And I went ahead and took that. I'm out of zone, I'm coming back to zone. The customer is in zone, so went ahead and took it. Check out the 1 item. Sliced Giant Eagle mushrooms. Easy. the produce departments at the front of the store. Walk in, grab that, up to the registers, no line, 1, 2, 3, boom. Had this delivered at 10:30, so 22 minutes for the $8. So pretty good. 6.25, $2 tip. I bet this had to have started with a lower base pay of $2 or $3 and got some money added to it to make it 8.25. It had to have. Okay, immediately after dropping that off, come on, I'm not doing a shopping order for like $4 or less. Not doing it. 3.75, and I gotta shop 8 items. It's ridiculous, folks. Too high of an item count on this, and going out east to Obet's decline on this 2075 Meyer. 20 miles decline. Right, this is more up my alley. Here we go. We're immediately after decline that $8, 4.3 McDonald's. Except, thank you very much. I'm on it for McDonald's. Um, no, actually, I declined that. Oh, sorry. You know what? Maybe that's when maybe that's when I was coming back here to get something to eat. So that's probably well. Otherwise, I would have took that. So I guess that was a decline. Sorry, folks. Okay, so 10:50. Yeah, because you see a 25-minute gap there. Yeah, I came home. I ate something. My dash was on pause for about 15, 20 minutes. Okay, so unpause dash. Here we go. At 10:56, decline. 10.75, 12-mile Meyer, 19 items. Then had to wait about 19 minutes for the next offer. Went ahead and took this 27.50, 16 miles. Only got to shop 13 items. And so I don't remember any problems with this order. Okay. Oh, this was the one with the pacifiers. Okay. So the brand that they ordered, it was for like a child over 18 months old. And they didn't have that. And you see the screenshot here. This is another brand, and those three are for, children 16 months and older, I think it was. And I sent that picture. They were more expensive by $1 or $2. So I sent the message and waited you see here 5 minutes, and then sent that copy and paste again. The unresponsive customers. So and I on all of these I try. It says no answer, text or phone call. I do try to call every time. I text and call and shelf pictures. But DoorDash is still going to hold that against me, that items weren't found. Like, am I supposed to like go into the back room of these stores myself, or I mean, I don't know. I don't know, folks. Finish the shop at 11:43. And so there's the first drop off at 12:04 to a not so fun apartment complex to go to. 12:17 the final drop off. So an hour and 2 minutes for 27.50, even with the had the item out of stock and having to wait on that customer. I still got this done in an hour. $15, $7 tip, and a $5.50 tip. So that worked out. Okay, and that was at 12:17. The second drop off was downtown area, and I don't get these too often, but I got right away. I got this offer for first watch picking up downtown Columbus and coming back to zone. 1075, 10.7 miles. Absolutely. I'll pick up an order and get paid for my mileage back. Great. I get there and like walked in the doors, perfect timing. The guy was like walking up to the front with my order, like as I was walking into the doors. I mean, it was pretty crazy. Pick that up, come back to zone, deliver it. What time was that? So 23 minutes start to finish, and got 1075 for my return trip. Outstanding. I think this is only the second or third time that I've ever picked up from First Watch. We don't. I don't know where all their locations are. I've just been to this downtown Columbus location, but we don't have those here in my zone. That's probably a decline. Yeah, 1175, 14 miles decline. Not even a minute later, another upside down decline, $10, 12 and a half miles. Lot of orders going to South Columbus and downtown area. Out of zone stuff. I think I declined that one too. $12, 12 miles, Obets, 5 items, no thanks. 1 minute later, uh, I'm it has to be, for me to accept a Home Depot order, it's got to be like paying really well, because I've said it before in these videos, I'm not a home improvement guy. Okay, so this metal polish, and at the bottom this silver polish cream, I've probably never used either one of those products in my whole entire 900 years of life on this earth. I'm sure I've probably used microfiber cloths before, but you're asking me to walk into stores that I have no idea about any products in that. I don't work on houses. I live in an apartment. Okay, decline. Same thing with, like I've talked about in past videos, like the like Sally Beauty orders. I got to be really careful with orders like that, because obviously I don't know what I'm doing in there. I think I took this. So $23, 15 miles. Again, a Columbus order, but this one's pretty good. Item count is fairly low, 17 items. So this one didn't scare me. Let's go ahead and take it. I'm right near the Meyer, so let's see here. Now this customer responded pretty much right away. It was on these the top item there, that the cans of water, and what was the other thing? Is it in this screenshot? Um, no, it's something else, something that wasn't in this screenshot, and I can't remember what it was. But as soon as I marked it unavailable and sent a shelf picture, the customer like immediately canceled the items. So I mean, that made it easy. Like, for instance, I marked the water unavailable, took a shelf picture, and it wasn't even like a minute goes by. It disappears off my screen. Customer canceled it. So that was nice. I like it when the customers like respond right away. Delivered that at 1:35. So 14, that is like 49 minutes for 23 bucks. I'll take it. $14, $9 tip. Now I think at this point, again, I'm downtown area. And how about for 2 times in one day, I'm in downtown, I get an order, let's get paid for my return trip back. Um, and that's what's nice about like a really busy day like today. You can get like return trip orders like this. So yeah, absolutely. I went ahead and took this. Um, and sushi from Kroger. So, and you see the pin position. We're at like on this map, it's like right in the center of like downtown Columbus. And so I accept the order. I'm following GPS. I'm on High Street and I'm heading right towards downtown. And I'm only like a half a mile away from this Kroger. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute here. You're telling me there's a Kroger like actually in downtown Columbus? Really? I didn't know that. And so I get there, but sure enough, check it out. I took this screenshot standing in the parking lot. There I am in the Kroger parking lot. Take a picture of downtown right there in the back. I never knew this Kroger was there. And I tell you what, I was telling my wife earlier, this was a serious Kroger as well. Like I went in the front doors and went to turn towards the sushi counter, and I passed like this armed security guard standing at a podium. I pick up the order, it was ready. I go to leave, and at the exit, there's like a security guard standing there as well. So I'm like, man, this is a Kroger where they don't play around. Um, and this just took me 25 minutes for the $9, and good order to got paid for my return trip. $4 from DoorDash, $5 tip. Okay, that takes me to 2 o'clock. Um, look at this. This could have been the most absurd order of the day. Come on, $9 for a catering order. Now I know it's Fazoli's, but still, this is an order that's over $100 and going 12 miles, and it's going to pay me $9. No, thank you. No thanks. Ridiculous. This is raunchy. 725, 10 miles. Burger King and Walgreens decline. Acceptance rate check. That decline took me down to 36%. I've been here lately. I've been kind of staying in the mid to upper 30s for the most part. I wish I could get that back up to closer to 50. And I mean I do overall see like better orders, but I'm not gonna if my acceptance, it doesn't matter what my acceptance rate is. I'm lifetime platinum. So I'm not going to take orders like that Fazoli's order that's just not profitable just to get a higher AR. I'm not doing it. I'd rather work a longer shift and where I'm just taking, orders that make sense. um, like this one, $6, less than 4 miles. I took it, and this. So if I could have this done in, well, ideally 15 minutes, but I'd be okay with 20. Drop that off in, what is this? This took me 17 minutes. So it's right on track with that goal as far as time. $2 and a $4 tip. Not doing this, going out to Obets. You see a lot of like Obets and South and downtown Columbus. 2 minutes later, not doing a $3 order. So decline, $3 Wendy's. A minute later, this one I took 6.25. I kind of wish it would have been my Dollar General, but it was the other one. You see here on my pin position, I'm not really that close to that one. This was a little raunchy, but I still took it. Like I said, had to substitute again. I'm only walking into the store shopping for two things, and I have to substitute the dish soap for a different size. So boom, there goes my percentages on something as stupid as dish soap. I don't know. Maybe at some point, like I don't know, maybe on these shopping orders, if instead of like the customer choosing substitutions, maybe if it could not be considered a substitution. Like for instance, well, let's take the dish soap. In my order, maybe I could place an order and pick one of any three of these things. And so I do like a 5.8 ounce, a 7 ounce, and a 11 ounce, for instance. So I put in there three things. I only want one of them. So if you can find one out of those three, I wonder if at some point in the future they could go to something like that. That way, nothing is being like quote unquote substituted. It's as long as you find one of those three things or four or five things or whatever, as long as you find one of them, then it counts as a shopped, like correctly shopped item, no out of stock or error or whatever the case. Pizza. Get me a Red Baron pizza. I don't care if it's pepperoni or pepperoni sausage or a deluxe or cheese. Okay, so all you have to do is get one pizza and it can be any one of those four. We're not substituting anything, it just needs to be one of those four. I'd send that suggestion into DoorDash. Had this shopped and I didn't do good on this one. It looks like, what is this, 19 minutes for the $6. So that's just like a roughly an $18 an hour rate. So that, not real good on that. This was a decline. Just too low pain, not worth it. 3 minutes later, I went ahead and took this a Pet Supplies Plus pickup, which I didn't know that they did. I've been there quite a few times before actually, and it's always been where I shopped. I didn't even know there were pickups. I'm on my way there, and I get a hidden tip stack offers $6 with a hidden tip. Bowl Boba. Bowl Boba is just like right across the street from the Pet Supplies Plus, and only adding not even 2 miles. And absolutely, that's a great stack right there. Curious to see what the tip would be. The hidden tip. Here's the Pet Supply Plus order. It was like two big, like 40 or 50 pound, just like unmarked, just plain white bags. And you see with like the Pet Supplies Plus tape on it, or the logo or whatever. So yeah, I guess the store like has its own dog food or whatever that it prepares for customers. Or I wonder if that's cheaper than buying the name brand dog foods. Or I don't know. I never knew about this or anything, so now I know. And is that just for delivery orders, or I don't know. um, dropped off the bowl boba, and they hit $6 on this. That was a $12 order. So yeah, that was outstanding. $2 from DoorDash, $10 tip. 321, and then it just took me 4 minutes to get to the dog food customer, and 350 and a $4 tip. So this was so 30 minutes, and I made $19.50 in 30 minutes. That was, yeah, that really works for me. Uh, Not doing this. $15, 21 miles, even though it's one item. Again, another Columbus order. There's the one item salad seasoning. Again, another raunchy one. 1850, 21 miles. Decline. Again, these long and at this point, I'm close to goal here, and I'm not going one of these out of zone deliveries this late in the dash. This right here, this order, if this would have been like a couple hours earlier, I definitely would have took this one, but not when I'm about ready to shut things down. It's just too late for this. I've already gone out of zone enough times today. That and there's acceptance rate check at 37 after that. Look at this. Again, this isn't too bad either. 37.50, but not going to Columbus. I got to shop 21 things at Meijer and then shop 5 things at PetSmart. It's too late in the shift. And and I'm about ready to shut things down. I think this was my last decline. That's going. I'm wanting to go home, and this is going like the opposite direction to West Columbus, kind of near Hilltop. Not doing that. Took me down to 36, and I shut it down. So final numbers: 18 deliveries for $189.50 in 7.5 hours active. That was $25 an hour. Right on goal. Out of my total dash time was 8 hours and 42 minutes. I stayed busy. Busy day. Made close to goal, and the hourly rate was right there, so I couldn't ask for much more today. Happy with how today turned out. And that's all I got for today's dash. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll catch you next time at the next video. And as always, be sure to stay safe out there driving. Thanks again.